Here you go. So, assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuhu. So, we're here with the alhamdulillah. So we're here with the sister, man, and it's a few things that we want to discuss that we're going to try to discuss bi'ithni Allah ta'ala. In a deen, kind of like issues with marriage, getting married, things that could be possibly better in the ummah in our communities, to kind of get a female point of view, because a lot of times some of us brothers, we talk about it amongst ourselves, but we don't really have the female perspective. And then also to discuss like some of the things that she seen when she was making umrah, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, for the most part, and how she feels coming back, you know what I mean, from being over there and then coming back. So just a disclaimer for this channel, because you know sometimes people want to hear things on here that they may not like, or it may trigger them, but I just try to keep everything as simple as possible as it is, to let everybody know, even when you see us who do these type of videos, even strong students of knowledge or scholars, we all human too. So some of the things I talk about is to show and let people know Shaitan attacked me too. We not perfect people. We shouldn't be looked at as such, because we go through the same thing that everybody else go through in their everyday life. So sometimes I like to showcase that what I had to go through and what I had to deal with the Shaitan, and how I deal with it. You know, because like I say, we all people, man, and we all go through the same thing. And then some of the attacks that some of us may go through may be a little stronger than others. So during this interview, some people might hear some things that they don't like, but it's not a personal attack. You know, we all human, we all go through the same thing, and we all have emotions. So, you know, with that being said, man, let's kind of start off with the marriage thing, and like from your perspective, from a female perspective, because when we discuss marriage, when the brothers discuss marriage, we discuss it from a view of how the sisters make it difficult. And I know sometimes when I listen to sisters, they discuss it from how the brothers make being married difficult. So what do you feel like? Is it the brothers? Like being married, not the getting married part, but being married.
To be honest, I think it's from both sides.
From both sides.
You know, with me being a woman, of course, I can only speak on the things that I see, the things that I go through, and of course, things that I hear from other sisters. Okay. But to be honest, it's a both side thing, and it's I don't know, sometimes I think guys think that some sisters are desperate to marry.
Okay.
Not saying we don't want to get married.
Okay.
But you know how like we think that once we get to our wits end, we just gonna start accepting anything, and when we don't, it's a problem.
Okay.
Okay. That's pretty much been my issue.
Okay.
Just being realistic, it's pretty much been my issue. They think that because I've not been married for a long time, for a couple years, that they're like, okay, she's willing to accept anything. No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
So, my own personal situation, and I'm not trying to single out anybody.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it like this: it may be hurtful, but if the shoe fit, wear it. Like I'm just being honest.
Right.
It's because it's like you'll have, like I have a sibling that's Muslim,
okay,
but he don't know how to stay out of trouble.
Okay.
So I have to be dependent to a certain degree on a whole other man that's non-relative, non-blood related.
Okay.
To be my wali.
Okay.
And what happens is, somewhere down the line, that may cause an attraction. You know, it is not a willing attraction, but you know, somewhere down the line there may cause an attraction
between both people, or just sometimes the imam or the wakil, or
you know what? I've seen it to where some sisters where it end up being the guy and the lady.
Okay.
I mean, there's somewhere it's just one of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So the guy might be like, nah.
Okay.
And then the lady might be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it. That's why I would say it's all sides. So it's either both of them or one or the other.
Okay.
So, but what happens is that we as women, we have to be open to our wali, which opens the door of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So when that happens, when we have to be a little more vulnerable with this man that technically can be available, that's technically available for us, he may gain a liking, especially if he's gotten to know you over the years.
Yeah.
He know your temperament. He know how you move. Say if you have children, may know your children.
Yeah.
And can see the growth within you, and that can grow an attraction.
Okay.
And when that happens, that can also deter you from having potential spouses, like a potential spouse that's really good for you.
Okay.
Because he like, nah, And I won't say it's like an intentional thing. Sometimes we do things unintentionally, not knowing we're doing it.
Okay.
And I do believe that's kind of what happened. I believe that it was one of those not realize that the person's doing it, that this person is doing it or done it. I mean, I ain't gonna say doing it, but done it. But at the same time, it's like presenting people that this person know that you're not gonna go for. So it's almost like if this person like, I'm not gonna make it a us. The guy was giving me crackhead vibes. Not saying the man was a crackhead.
Okay.
I said the vibes.
Okay.
Giving crackhead vibes. And I'm like, he cannot be listening in on this conversation. He can't be. And I literally said, dude, you cannot be listening, because if you hear this, you would question it.
Right.
And, you know, I picked up on it real early, but I was trying to be kind. I was trying not to be harsh, give a person the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And, you know, and then even when I was like, no, I'm good. And so when a person came along that I was interested in, not presented to me by him, but a totally different person, it was like he blew it off. Like it was non-existent, like he didn't hear it. Because any other time, if it was a brother that's interested in me and I'm not, I would literally tell him nah, tell the brother,
Okay.
And he would literally speak to that person and tell him no. So finally, when one came along that I was interested in, it was more like, from my understanding, he didn't speak to him. And if it was like very brief, but it wasn't nothing. And then instead, he turned around and told me, sister, you're not ready for marriage. But meanwhile, you were just trying to marry me to a person like a month or two ago that had crackhead vibes. You know, but what is it? And that's when I backed up and was like, whoa, wait a minute. Something's not right. So where to bring it moving forward, a turnaround, it was presented with presented himself a couple months down the line.
Okay.
And for me, it was very hurtful in a two-sided way, to where I did cry. It was multiple times, multiple nights I cried.
Okay.
It was like I couldn't even process the thought, and it was for two reasons. It was his wife. Me and her is very, very close.
Okay.
I didn't want her to think that I was trying to backdoor her.
Okay.
And I had no part. Like, so you would think, just hearing it, you might be like, well, sister, what was you doing? Why did he feel like this? But he had been my wali for years.
Okay.
So basically, I took my shahada, in January 2016.
Okay.
And me and him, we met a couple months after that.
Okay. Okay.
He had watched my kids grow up. You know, my youngest, you know, my boys. He watched my boys grow up.
Okay.
From when they was like in elementary. So where now, like, one just graduated from high school, you know. So it's not like it was only a couple years. It was basically almost 10 years if you want to think about it. Okay. About 10 years.
Okay.
He's not even been married that long.
Okay.
But to this particular, so it was me and her have grown a bond, and you couldn't tell me that's not my family. But at the same time, I know just the thought of it. If she was to know that her husband was interested in me, yeah, she would be devastated. Okay. And they always say, you know, you always hear what you want for yourself, you should want for your brother and sister. Okay. I don't want her to feel that way. So it was never me thinking, let me get with this man. Not ever that. It was more focused on her mental status, how she gonna feel. What is she going through? Because now this is her husband, and now she has to deal with the fact that her husband is interested in marrying one of her ex-boyfriends. Okay, okay. And for me, that made me feel horrible because it made me question, what did I do? I was already questioning, like, okay, is it something about me that I think is okay, but I might be off and not really know it, and he just don't want to tell me? But then he turned around and told me all the things he seen, the ropes he seen, and my exact words to him was, if you could tell me this, when that brother that asked about me, why couldn't you say anything to him like that? So it made me feel he's been thinking about it longer than what he actually made it sound like. Okay. He's made it sound like it was only been a little while. Okay. So, but it gave up. Go ahead. No, because I'm okay. So from everything you said, but I gotta ask a question first before I interject, because I want to give the male perspective from your situation and also as being a wakil on what it possibly could have been. You know, like sometimes when the blanks aren't filled in, we fill them in ourselves. Mm-hmm. So you met him in like 2016. So how long was he your wakil? I mean, since 2016. Since we had met. So since you met him, yes. Have you ever got married under his watch at all? Yes. Okay. Did the marriage last? No. If it lasts, I would be married still. Okay. So I mean, like, no. Did y'all at least get a year in? No. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he did bring you somebody, but it wasn't really a good brother. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did he know him, or you found him and brought him to the brother, and he didn't really screen him? He introduced me to the brother. Okay, so I think I may have. So the okay, we won't get into too much detail. Okay, so that's the only marriage that you had under him. Okay, and correct. Everybody else after the first bad brother he brought you basically was the same type of brother. Like all bad brothers, or just the crack? They weren't suitable for you. So for a while, just being honest, I was actually scared to remarry. Okay. And it took me a couple years. Okay. So because it's like we're given as women, you're going, oh, the brother's supposed to do this, the brother's supposed to do that, you know, all the good stuff. Not saying that bad stuff don't come along or things don't happen. We get that. We're grown. Okay. You know, understand that. But it was the treatment that I received during that marriage. It was just like too much. It's like for me to know as a woman that, okay, this man is leading you. You have to obey him. You chose him. Even though somebody presented this man to you, you still accepted this man.
Okay.
And because of that, you agreed to obey.
Okay.
So just to know that a person has that much, I'm not even going to say power, like as in the word, like it's just having that status over you. You still, as a woman, regardless of how much money I make, regardless of my status in society, my husband, if he say this and it's not against the ding, this is what I'm supposed to go with. Go with what he says, right? Obey. It ain't like he's telling me to do something I shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
So I did. No matter how he treated me, I still obeyed him.
Okay.
If he, whatever he wanted, as long as it wasn't against the ding, bam, I gave him what he wanted.
Okay.
For me to even know that's because, I mean, even my father said that when you get married, you gotta listen to your husband. So with my father telling me that, knowing me coming to this ding, that's, another thing that I have to be mindful of. So I was scared to remarry. Okay. I mean, it was even just to make it, just kind of give you an idea. It was don't speak unless spoken to.
I got you.
And it's like, no.
I got you.
So that made me scared. Okay. And it was a bunch of other stuff, but it made me scared. So he knew that I was afraid to remarry.
Okay.
So it took me a couple years. And once I literally told him, I said, I'm ready to remarry. And this was 2 years ago.
Okay.
I told him, I said, I'm ready to remarry. I said, you know how I get? Because I'll indulge in working. You know what I'm saying? To satisfy that other side, to keep me out of trouble. So if I'm not at this, whatever. So I kept telling him I'm ready to remarry. Okay, I'm ready. And it was just, I don't know what he was presenting. I was like, what? No. What?
Okay. Now, let me say this. Like with the second part, what I was going to say. Sometimes when we in a position and we have sisters, there's certain things that we may know about them that the brother who they want to marry don't know. So sometimes as a gauge, not necessarily using the best judgment, because we're not going to know everything about the brother, but some sisters just don't seem like they're a good fit for particular brothers, just like some brothers not a good fit for particular sisters. So sometimes a wakil won't be direct and tell the sister that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I feel like you a good fit for this type of brother, but that type of brother I don't feel like you a good fit for. Because it's something I have to deal with, but I be honest about it. But then at the same time, by him, not saying you per se, but if they looking at the person and they deal with the person, they could say, this person is a lot to handle, but I can handle her. And I know she want to be married, so they'll present themselves. Like, because I know her enough to handle her. I've been around her long enough. Her and this particular brother might not make it that far for him to know what I know, and it might not last. So sometimes sometimes these wakils and walis, they have to put all that into perspective when they trying to put somebody together. So sometimes their intentions isn't always bad. Sometimes they just not saying what they need to say to the sister because they don't want to hurt their
feelings. I agree with you.
You see what I'm saying? And then, like, sometimes when you have family members, even when we have family members, because like I say, I like to go through the process when, I like to go through the sit down processes with different imams, different wakils, walis, family members, to see how they're gauging and what could be done different. Sometimes, when, let's say they have a family member, an uncle, a brother, or a father. So let's say the father may happen to be like a lawyer, right? The sister may take a liking to a person who may be coming out of the streets, who changed their life, but they left the streets 5 years ago. The father might not necessarily know how to gauge that brother for her. So he might just be an automatically no, but it might be a perfect one. The same way, like if they have an uncle or father or brother who been in the streets and been in the prison, and then a brother is presented to them that's like a school guy, they misgauge that person and tell her a no, or they might scare that brother off. So it's a tricky thing, especially for us, because we do a lot of things backwards. But at the same time, sometimes people still be up to no good. But this is going to end in a second, so we're gonna stop this one, and then we're gonna redo it because we on Zoom, so it's a little time limit. But we still got.
I was about to say something. I was about to say.
Cause we had to get the little.
I was about to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna let you say it. I'm gonna let you say it. Mm-hmm. We got a couple of minutes before it end. I'm just letting you know, so I gotta stop it before it cut off.
Okay.
But this is what I do want to ask you.
Okay.
Do you feel like? Because I know you questioning it. Do you feel like his movement was intentional? Like maybe he wanted you all along and may have set you up with some people to gauge your behavior and learn from that? Because this is something that is done. I mean, I've heard of situations where they may have set them up with a friend or somebody who they knew it wouldn't work, but they get to gauge their behavior with the person because they viewing them as potential sister for themselves down the line. Do you feel like that may be?
I do believe to some degree, yes. And the reason why I say that is because I had even said to this person, why are you presenting me people that you know I'm going to say no about? Like, come on, bruh. Do me better. Like, I literally, I talked to him like I talked to my brother. Bruh, come on. Do me better than that. Like, no. Is it something that you're not telling me that I need to know about myself that I'm not catching on? Let me know. Because what you presenting, no. But without saying an extra.
But even when he told you that he felt like he wasn't ready for marriage, he didn't give you a reason why?
My exact words to him, when he said that, I said, you sit here and tell me that I'm not ready for marriage, but yet you tried to introduce me to a guy that was giving out crackhead vibes. So evidently you felt this man was suitable for me, but yet when I bring someone to your attention, so it was kind of making me think, and I literally said him, I said, it's making me think, do you see me like that too? Because now I'm picking myself apart based off of the type of man you bringing me, and it's questioning me, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. To the point I had to even sit down and break my own character down to make sure I'm not tripping, thinking I'm something that I'm not. And he did not respond.
So even when you
did not respond.
When you asked him why he didn't never say anything to the brother or whatever went on, he never gave you an explanation? Yes. That's when he told you wasn't ready for marriage? With the brother?
No, that is correct. When he found out that I had switched my Wali, and he made a whole class about how women, when they don't like when something happens, that they'll switch their Walis, and you can't just switch your Walis to anybody. Meanwhile, I went to a whole other imam that has known me almost just as long. It's, a couple years shy, but
okay.
Dude, like, what do you mean? And I told him why. I said, it seems like your plate is full, and that the people that you're presenting, I don't think that you're really checking them out. I said, the last guy, he was giving out crackhead vibes, and he wanted to marry anything. Okay. And if that's how you see me, well, one, I need to go reevaluate myself, and then I need to get fresh eyes.
Okay.
Literally, I told him that.
Okay.
And he was like, sister, you just can't go get it. I did. And I told him, I said, I think you forgot I do have a brother that is Muslim.
Right.
It's just that unfortunately he just doing stuff. With that being said, I'm just trying to look out for my best interest by choosing a man that will help me navigate through this. But instead, I don't know, your plate is just full, is what I told him. Your plate is full, and I'm gonna just come up off the plate. And now that he's not my wali, and it's been a couple months, he presented himself. And like I said, everything he said to me was true. And my response to him, it was, you said all of this to me. Why didn't you say these same things to the brother? Because between now and then, none of that has changed.
Well, it's
still the same.
It seems like he didn't. It seems like he didn't see the brother as the problem, though, because it seemed like if he came and told you wasn't ready, it was something going on there.
That was a lie.
I'm just saying from his
if I wasn't ready, he wouldn't present me, and he's that type.
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he's that type. If he feels like you're not ready for marriage, he's not bringing anybody to you.
Well, maybe just not ready for marriage for a particular type of person. Hold on, let's end this one because it's gonna cut off on us.
But he never said that.
Okay, hold on. We gonna stop it right here. Then we gonna come right back.